What's up, guys? My name is Corbin. I don't usually do YouTube videos, but I felt like the people that have done Navity reviews so far, and just how few there are, for people that are can't wait to get theirs, and for people that are more interested in purchasing one right now, but they don't know if it's for them. I kind of wanted to show you kind of a full breakdown and really tell you the things that I absolutely dislike and the things that I absolutely love about it. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first things first is this scroll wheel. I think this was a brilliant idea. You hold the middle. Yeah, so it'll pop up Google or whatever it is, and the scroll wheel itself will give you access to pretty much all of the different menus, notifications along the sides, things like that. So the scroll wheel itself is great. One of the things that I do have a difficult time with this scroll wheel is that it doesn't seem to really fit that well. It has a second notch on the back, but it does not reach that far. So they kind of need to have a middle ground notch that really grabs on, because this will start sinking and stuff. It makes it a little more less convenient for me to use my paddle shifter. So that's something I don't like about it, but overall I think it was a brilliant addition to the product. Which brings us to the hand gestures while I'm out here. So the hand gestures, the gesture controller is right, I believe, here. Maybe it's there. It's somewhere. It's something about that. But, a lot of times I'll do the gesture control and it won't react whenever I'm getting a call or something. So, you can see that I just got a message. So that's interesting. That might be something that I hadn't seen before. So the gesture controller, it looks like it will pull up that side screen, which is something I'm just learning. But will it make it go away? So see how that's just a little bit gimmicky? Slow hand motions, and it's still not necessarily doing what I want. So back to the heads-up display. I kind of wanted to walk you guys through the different screens. So we'll start at the beginning. On the left, you're going to have your dash options, and this works the same for maps and for the dash option. There's two screens, either maps or dash. So things you can also change about this are the left and the right of the display. So on the left, I usually like to have my music showing, and on the right, dash options, right side. One of my favorite things, I like the agenda. It'll show you your calendar events right there. And I also really like the trip estimator for time. So you see, that's how long I've been driving. That's how long the car has been on. So that's a pretty cool feature too. So the map option is going to show you, obviously, your map, the street you're on. It'll show you your speed in the top right. That's something that I kind of wish that they would have played with, is maybe making the speed a little bit larger, or be centering it more towards the center, something like that. Because I feel like with the speed where it is, it doesn't necessarily work as good as it could. I mean, I will say that it's nice, but it should be a little bit bigger or something. Back to this. So over here, you're going to have something called glances. And so whenever someone shoots you a text message, I'm not loved, so nobody's texting me, of course, but the screen basically divides in half, and it shows you the text message or the call or whatever it may be, the notification. You can set up the notifications that you want to receive for this. It'll show it on the side, and you can read it, and it'll show the whole screen as a message or whatever it is. And that's a cool feature, but something that I really dislike about that, and I'm actually going to pause the video real quick just so I can send myself a message so you guys can see this. So it will actually show you the picture of the contact. It'll let you reply, read, or select done. So again, we're about to get into one of my least favorite things that they left out on this, and you guys might already see it coming. So let's just say I go ahead and I go to read. Okay. So you can set it up to where it'll read it aloud to you over your speakers. You can just see the content there, or you can even set it to where it won't show you the content, but it will read it aloud over the speakers. So cool, I just read that message. Awesome, I think I'm going to reply. And in the video, whatever that dude's name is with the beard that's in all the crowdfunding campaign videos, he shows it as him sending a tweet. saying driving with Doug and Navdi feels like driving in the future through the Navdi. Well, that does not exist. You cannot use your Navdi to send a message. You can send a quick reply, which only says this right here. I'm driving with Navdi. Can I call you back later? No. Or you can call them, or you can go back. And that's all it is. So these are the different screens inside the main menu. You've got your map, you've got your dash, so those are the two different screen displays. It'll show you your favorite places, so you can actually add favorite places through the Navdi app, and they'll kind of just be around for when you want them. You can just view places. You can see your favorite contacts. Those are actually imported from your phone. If you set a contact as favorite, it'll show up on this list. So my girlfriend's the only person that I have on there right now. Back to that. It'll show you your recent contacts, so people you've recently called. It'll have your music controller, and then it's got Google Now and settings. So the music controller, I like the way that they did music. It's cool. Again, it splits your screen in half. It basically plays your song, and it'll even show you the picture of the song that's playing right there. It's not doing it right now because I'm recording. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, it'll even show you the picture of the band that's recording, and whenever you go back over to the other thing, whenever this goes away, because if you notice that bar in the center, if you don't touch the notification or the music thing that pops up on the side, the bar itself will start to get smaller slowly, and then that's how you know that it's almost out of time and it's going to go away. So it seems a little bit gimmicky at the moment. I'm sure some software updates in the future will fix that. And on the left hand side, you can see I always leave it to my band, my music that's playing, and that's kind of another interesting thing. I can't just scroll over to that and click it. It won't work. So the way to change music is essentially either I have to go back to the main menu and scroll over to music, or I have to go back and just wait until finally my song is over and the little side screen pops up again. So one of the claims that Navdi really, and all these other heads-up displays coming out too, one of the claims that they really try to make is that Navdi makes driving safer. So let's talk about ways that it could make it safer. Navdi could make driving safer in the sense that you're going to get your notifications on your screen. But in my actual experience with Navdi, it's made it more dangerous to drive because I find myself constantly looking down. Mind you, my field of vision is about right here. So the screen shows up, and you know, they say it's supposed to project about 10 feet out, but I'll tell you that looks like it's about a foot or two away. So it's not 10 feet, it's about 2 feet. And so I find myself constantly going from a gaze of here and just kind of flicking my eyes down to here where this stuff is and kind of messing with the remote and stuff. And in those split seconds where I'm looking down, I actually think it is more dangerous than if I were to just look at my phone for that same amount of time. And, you know, obviously that sounds like the logic is flawed, things like that. Obviously your eyes are still on the road, things like that. But I'm just telling you in my personal experience, I do not usually get into near wrecks. And with the Navdi here, if I'm not careful, I actually tend to get more distracted driving than I would if I were just checking my phone or looking down a little further to look at my gauges briefly. The screen brightness, for instance, I didn't hit on that earlier. This screen is perfectly visible at night, during the day, anytime you want to. You can even customize the brightness. And even at the mid setting, middle brightness, I have had no issue seeing this in direct sunlight. So huge props on that. Because really, the display is beautiful. It looks great. One issue that I do have while I'm driving is it tends to shake a little bit as I go over bumps and things like that. That could be attributed to my car. I drive a BMW 335i Coupe with the M Sport package. So the suspension is a little bit rougher of a ride, so that could be it. Or it could just be the fact that these mounts are weird. This is mounted with the small mount because BMW owners beware. It is a very difficult fit. If you have a car that has a dash that looks like this and kind of jumps up and it's even remotely close to the windshield, I'd say there's maybe 4 inches in between the windshield and the dash, Navity is probably not going to be for you, because I don't know that you'll be able to get the full experience with having to kind of mess with the location. So I've been filming this out in kind of segments over a couple of days now as I figure things out and as I talk to Navity. So I actually sent a message to Navity because I wanted some feedback. I wanted to know, does this have a microphone inside of it? Does the Navity unit have its own independent microphone? Basically, what they said was that they are working to make it to where voice is better and you can reply to messages, send tweets and things like that, but it will not work unless it is over your phone or your car's onboard microphone system. So the Navity does not actually have a microphone built into it, which I see that is a really, really big negative to it. I think that if you're going to come out with a unit like this, you need to invest in putting a microphone in it, because that's something where the unit itself needs to be able to do a lot of the functionality. But essentially, I think that this unit is more so of a tech replacement for your car. Don't think of it as so much as adding a heads-up display. Look at this in terms of, all right, dollar for dollar, would I rather have this or would I rather purchase a new head unit for my car? Keep in mind, a new head unit is probably going to have the Bluetooth built in. It'll come with a microphone for the car, things like that. So you kind of just have to compare on the terms of, what do I want to do in order to get navigation and higher end features in my older car? And one of the things that the Navity does have going for it is that obviously it is a heads-up unit, or a heads-up display unit. So whereas if you buy a head unit that replaces your existing radio, you're not going to get the head-up display. The Navity does offer that, but the Navity is also short on quite a few things. And for $800, you could get easily a top-of-the-line head unit that's going to, make your sound system sound better. It's going to have navigation. It's going to have Apple and Android Auto. It's going to do probably more than the Navity will, but it won't be a head-up display. So kind of what you need to consider is the Navity worth the $800, or would I rather invest that money to bring my car into the new age in a different way? And if it were me personally doing it, I've already got the screen in the BMW. The BMW already tells me a lot of the diagnostic info and stuff, and more so than the Navity does. But I wanted the head-up display, and I really can't replace that screen with a newer one. So I think in my situation, yes, the Navity was a better bet, even though the fitment with the windshield and the dash as it is very, very finicky. But I don't think it's worth $800 at the end of the day. If it had a microphone built in, if it were launching with all the features it needs to, if it had better fitment, if the screen wouldn't wobble a little bit while driving, things like that, yes, I could see the Navity going for somewhere around $800. But as it sits now, I really think that a $500 to $600 price point is reasonable for the unit. So that's going to conclude our video, guys. If you would like me to do driving footage, which, it's just going to show you the same screens, but while I'm driving, feel free to comment below. Let me know your feedback on the video. I know the video is not good. This is my first video, and I'm only doing it to kind of show you guys around the Navity unit a little bit more. So if you guys have anything in particular that you'd like me to show you or answer, feel free to go ahead and comment below, and I'll do my best to get that posted up. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope this has helped either get you excited for your Navity unit or made you want to purchase one even, because I do think it is a great machine.